Okay, dear students, let's start learning what JavaScript can do. In this class, we'll see some examples of what JavaScript can do. The first thing we'll learn is that through JavaScript, we can change the contents of a HTML page. Then we'll see how can we change the HTML element attribute values using the JavaScript. The next example we'll see is how to change the HTML styles, the CSS, with the help of JavaScript. Then we'll also learn using JavaScript how to hide an HTML element and how to show a hidden HTML element. Okay, all these we'll be seeing with example. It's clear, students? Today we'll be learning all these things using the JavaScript code. Yeah. Okay. So the first one, the JavaScript to change the HTML contents. Okay. HTML you people have studied, right? HTML you people have studied. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All by script.
Okay. So one of the JavaScript HTML methods is get element by ID. You have so many HTML element. So in order to get an HTML by its ID, there is a method called get element by ID. Okay. In the following example, right, we find an HTML element whose ID is equal to demo by calling this method get element by ID. And we change the contents of this particular element. Okay, we change the contents of this particular element, inner HTML. To the contents we change to hello JavaScript. JavaScript accepts both double quotes and single quotes. Okay, so let's see an HTML document. You know that we start the HTML document by doc type HTML. Okay, exclamatory mark doc type we specify, which is HTML. Then we have the HTML tag, right? So there is a HTML tag in the beginning, and at the end we close it with /HTML. Is this fine, students? Right? Then in
Yes,
that
sir.
we are having a body tag.
Yes, sir. Fine.
We are having a body tag over here. We are starting our body over here. We don't have a header in this because the header is optional. We are having a body over here, the body, and the body ends over here. Inside this body, we are having an heading of type H2, and we are closing. What is our heading? In our heading, we are writing what can JavaScript do? What can JavaScript do? So this is a heading, right, which will print what can JavaScript do. Then we are having a paragraph, right? You know this P, the tag P is for paragraph. You know this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we
Yes,
have
Yes, sir.
we have a paragraph tag. It ends it. We are giving an ID to this paragraph element. Its ID is demo. The ID of this paragraph element is demo. ID equal to demo. And in this paragraph we are writing JavaScript can change HTML content. In this paragraph what we are writing? JavaScript can change HTML content. Okay, is this fine, students? Is this fine so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then we are having a button
Yes.
element. Then we are having a button element. So we have a button tag. Then at the end we are closing the button tag. Then for this particular button element we are writing type equal to button. Type equal to button. Okay. Then on clicking the button, what we want? When the button is clicked, then what we want? Okay. When we click the button, then we want document dot get element by id demo. We are telling that from this document, right, get element by id, get the demo element. Which is get demo element? This demo element. You set the inner html, means you set the contents of this particular element to hello javascript. Basically we want to say that once the button is clicked, this paragraph whose id is demo, it should display hello javascript. Now it is displaying, currently it is displaying javascript can change html content, but after clicking the button it should display hello javascript. You got, students? We are changing the content. Earlier
Yes, sir.
contents where javascript can change html content. Now we want to change this content to hello javascript. Okay, and what is this? Click me is what? Currently on the button, what will be shown? On the button, click me will be
Click
there.
on.
On the button, click me will be written on the button. Click me will be there, right? So this way we have a button. So how many elements inside this document, HTML document? We'll be having a heading, what JavaScript can do. Then we'll be having a paragraph which will contain JavaScript can change HTML content. Then we'll be having a button called click me. We'll be having a button click me. When we click on this button, then it will change the content of this element with id demo to JavaScript. It will change this to hello JavaScript.
Hello,
Got it?
JavaScript.
Hello JavaScript. Okay. You want the demonstration of it? So we'll see the demonstration of it. Okay. So I will go to the code. See, in my courses, this BL601 web design unit 2 JavaScript, I have directory code. Okay, and I have written a code for this. The name of the code file I have given one change HTML content .html. This is my file. It's a contents. I'll show what I have written in this. So I'll right click it and I'll edit it with Notepad++.
Okay.
You know Notepad++? It is an editor. Okay, you can use some other editor also. Are you able to read this? I don't know how to make it bigger. How to make it bigger? Anybody uses Notepad++? To make it bigger. Okay, zoom is there. Zoom.
No, sir.
I should do zoom in, right? Yeah, little bit bigger. Control. Oh, control then mouse wheel up. Okay. Control and then mouse wheel up. Okay. This also. Is this okay? You able to read it?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना, साइज ठीक होगी.
Yes, sir.
देखें सेम चीज है ये. इज दिस द सेम? डॉक टाइप इज HTML. Then we have HTML tag. Then we have body tag. Then that we have header. What can JavaScript do? Right? The heading. Then we have paragraph whose ID is demo. In this paragraph it is written JavaScript can change HTML content. Then we have button. Type is button. On click, what we do? We get the element by ID demo. Means we get this element and inner HTML. It's a contents we change to hello JavaScript. Right? On the button it is written click me. Okay? So this is our code. Right? Okay. Shall I execute this? Now how do we execute? Like we execute, this is basically HTML file, right? So I'll just double click on it.
Yes, sir.
So basically it will be executed in the browser, like HTML is open in the browser, right? And JavaScript is an interpreted language, so we don't need a compiler. In browser it will get run, right? So I'm just double clicking it. Sorry. So what got displayed over here? This is our heading, right? What can heading? What can JavaScript do? H2. Then this is paragraph. JavaScript can change HTML content, right? Then we have button. What is written on the button? What is
Click
written
me.
on? Click me. If I click, what should happen? If I click, what is
Hello
expected?
It will change the content, sir. It
It
will
will
change the content
it,
to hello JavaScript.
it will change this content, right? This content to hello JavaScript. Okay. So I'll just click it. Right? I clicked it. So what is it changed? Hello JavaScript. You got? Yeah. So through
Yes, sir.
JavaScript we can create the dynamic web pages. Got? This is the dynamic, right? From the time it changes the contents. So based on some action, something happens like this. So dynamically, what we do, we can change the contents. Okay, with the help of JavaScript. So you learned one thing, how to change the contents of an HTML element using the JavaScript. One thing you learned.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you know this before? Did
Yes,
you
sir. We did it in fourth semester
all these?
in JavaScript lab.
This. Oh, even I have taught you, right? That I have taught
Yes,
you
sir.
that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So then how? What way shall we do? Okay. So you want these repetitions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it will revise, right? We'll go quickly.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
We'll
Yes,
go
sir.
quickly, but it will revise, so it will become strong. Okay, so we'll revise quickly. Okay. Yeah, I forgot that. Okay, the second. Next is JavaScript can change HTML attribute values. Okay, HTML attribute values. So in this, if you see, then I'll go fast, right? We have header in which we are writing what can JavaScript do. Then we have a paragraph. In paragraph, it is written JavaScript can change HTML attribute values. So in earlier script, we changed the contents of HTML element. Now we are changing the HTML attribute values. So then what we are doing? We have another paragraph in which we are writing. In this case, JavaScript changes the value of the source attribute of an image. So we have an image tag over here. We have an image tag over here whose ID is my image. In this image tag, we are having an attribute called src, source. In image tag, in the source attribute, whatever file name we specify, that file is taken as the image. So here we are specifying, right, pic underscore bulb of .gif. So through this, right, in this, the bulb of .gif will be displayed. It's the style we are specifying. It's a width we are specifying as the 100 pixels. Okay, this way. We have a button in this. We have a button on this. On click, we get this image, my image. Okay, and we change the source to pic bulb on .gif. So by default, it is bulb pic underscore bulb of .gif that is associated with this image. But when we click the button, okay, by clicking the button, what happens, right? The source changes to pic bulb on .gif, right? And what we write on this button?
Yes, sir.
What we write on this button? On this button we write turn on the light.
Turn on the light.
Turn on the light. Similarly, we have another button over here on which we write turn off the light. Okay, and in this, on click, we change the source to pic underscore bulb off .gif. Right. So in one button we change the source to bulb on .gif. In another button we change the source to pic bulb off .gif. Are you getting? So the button which makes the bulb on that we write turn on the light, and the button in which we display the bulb off, on that we write turn off the light. Okay, these two we write. So this you already seen. I think I have shown you this earlier also. So now we'll go to the code,
Yes, sir.
and I will just give a demonstration to you of that. So for that our code is this. Okay, edit with notepad plus plus. Yes. So this, what is the time? I said 10 minutes. The last person. Okay, so in this we are having, what can we do with JavaScript? This, then we have two buttons, right? One button we are setting the source to pick bulb on.gif, and in another button we are changing the source to pick bulb off.gif, right? So now let me run this. You understood? Everybody understood this code, or you want some more explanation of this code from me? Tell me, student. Did you understood this full code, or you want some
Once
more?
again, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's see. Document type HTML we do in the beginning. Okay. We have an HTML tag beginning and end. See, I selected this HTML tag, HTML starting and end. Then we are having a body starting, and see body end. This is body start and body end. Okay. Then we have a heading. Heading is what can JavaScript do. So it will display what can JavaScript do. Then we have a paragraph. In this paragraph we are displaying JavaScript can change HTML attribute values. So it will display JavaScript can change HTML attribute values. Then we have another paragraph. In this paragraph we are writing, in this case JavaScript changes the value of source attribute of an image. Okay, so all this will be displayed. The heading will be displayed. Then these two paragraphs, they will display as it is. They will display as it is. Is this clear? Up to this point it is clear? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then after that we are having two buttons and one image. We are having two buttons and one image. So on the first button we are writing turn on the light. We are writing turn on the light. Okay. On the first button we are writing turn on the light. On the second button we are writing turn off the light. What are we writing? Turn off the light. Okay. In the button turn on the light, on click, what we are doing? We are getting the element by ID image. This image element we are getting. Get document dot get element by ID my image. My image is this image element. Image element has an ID my image. So we are getting this image, and it's a picture. It's associated with source, means image. We are changing source equal to pick bulb on dot gif. In this image we will be displaying the bulb which is on. If we click on this, then it will display this picture, pick underscore bulb on dot gif. Similarly, on the other button on which we are displaying turn off the light, in that when we click on this, then it will display the bulb off dot gif. Okay. Is this clear, students? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
And initially the image will be displayed with the bulb off. Initially the image will be displayed with the bulb off. Got it? In the style we are specifying its width equal to 100 pixels. So this is your HTML. Okay? If anybody has any question, then get it clarified. Otherwise I'll proceed with the demonstration. Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So let me go. Now I'll run it, right? So I'll double click it. Yeah. So we have a heading. what can JavaScript do? We had the first paragraph, JavaScript can change HTML attribute values. We had second paragraph, in this case JavaScript changes the value of the source attribute of an image. Then we have an image over here. Initially the image has the bulb off. Then we are having two buttons. On one button we have written turn on the light. On another button we have written the turn off the light. Okay. So on the button turn on the light, if I click, then what it will do? It will change the source of this particular image to a bulb which is on. When I'll click this, the turn off the light, it will again set the source image to the bulb which is off. So now I am clicking the turn on the light. Okay, so I'll click on turn on the light. What it did? Now it associated a bulb image which is on, right? So you feel that the bulb got on. Now if I click turn off the light, then it will again associate the source image to an off bulb. So if I click on this, so it's off. If I click again this, turn on the light, turn off the light, turn on the light, turn off the light, turn on the light, turn off the light. Is this clear, student?
Yes, no?
So you learnt how to change an attribute value using a JavaScript. You are changing the source attribute of an image element in JavaScript. By changing the source element, basically you are changing the picture. You are changing the picture. If you remember, I have given you an exercise in the previous lab in which you were having different views of the Centenary Gate.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Clear.
That day view or night view, something you did. Okay. So then
Yes,
based on the button, by clicking the button, you were showing the suitable ones, right? That you did. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
so it is the same thing. Basically you can modify the attributes of an HTML element using the JavaScript. Okay. Now the third thing, what we learn from this is, okay, I am going to the next one. JavaScript can change the HTML styles. Changing the style of an HTML element is a variant of changing an HTML attribute. Okay, you can change the style also. Okay, so what are we doing in this script? We are having a doc type HTML. We have the HTML tag. We have body tag. In that we are having a heading. What can JavaScript do? Then we have a paragraph. In this paragraph, whose ID is demo, we are writing JavaScript can change the style of an HTML element. And then we are changing the style in this. We have a button. On the button we have written click me. On the button we have written click me. It's a type is button, and on clicking the button we are changing the style. How we are changing the style? We are doing document get element by ID demo. So which is the element whose ID is demo? It is this paragraph element, ID is demo. We are changing it's a style. How are we changing the style? Get element by ID. Once we got the element, dot style, we are getting its style. Dot font size. In the style we are changing the font size to 35 pixel. So basically the text size we are changing to 35. Okay. So what we expect after clicking the button, the text size will change of this particular paragraph. JavaScript can change the style of an HTML element, right? It's a size, it's a font size will change to 35 points or whatever it is. Okay. So shall I show the demo of this to you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I am going here and first I am opening it. Notepad plus plus. Same thing is there here. Just to make sure that what we are running is the same thing. So it is the same code what I have shown you in the PPT. It is over here. Okay. Now I'll execute it. We have a heading. What can JavaScript do? We have a paragraph named demo with ID demo. In this paragraph we have written JavaScript can change the style of an HTML element. Okay. Then I'll click. Okay. If I click, so it became how much? 35. It's 35 points, right? You can change it further, right? Let's say I want it still bigger. I want it 50. So I'll make it 50. Control X. Okay, Control X. Save. Okay, I'll try to refresh it. Yeah, when I refreshed it, so it's again executing it. So it came to original thing. If I click if I see, it has become bigger, right? Let's say we want to make it very small. We want to make it very small. So I'll go over there. Instead of 50, I'll write 5. I'll write 5. Okay. I'll write 5. I'll save it. Right. I'll refresh over here. I'll click. So see, this 5. Even you are not able to see this, right? It became 5. Something is there over there.
Sir.
It's so small that you are not, 5 is so small that you are not able to see it. Okay. Yes, I'll change it to original. It was 35, I think I said. I'll make it 35. Control S. Yes, refresh, click. Now it is 35 again. Got it? So styles you can change. Here only the font size I have changed. You have to find out what are the other attributes through which the styles are changing. And in the code you can write it and you can change the styles. Maybe color you can change. Different things you can change. Okay. I am not very good at HTML. But you people have learned HTML. So from the HTML document you have to find out and you can change the different styles and fonts and various things of this. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So next. JavaScript. Using JavaScript you can hide an element. An element is there and you can hide it. So hiding the HTML element can be done by changing the display style. How? Okay, we'll see how to hide an HTML element by changing the display style. So here again we have a document with HTML tag, body tag, heading. What can we do? What can JavaScript do? We have a paragraph with ID equal to demo. On this paragraph we are writing JavaScript can hide HTML element. This is our text on this. Now how are we hiding? We have a button. On clicking the button, okay, what we are doing, we are changing the style, display style to none. Style display equal to none. When we say display equal to none, then it will hide this particular element which we are getting, get element by ID demo. So this demo element, this paragraph, its a display is none, so it will not show it after clicking it. Got it? Is this clear, students?
Yes, sir.
So how are we hiding? We are changing its a display style to none. Okay.
None.
Yes, none. So I'll take this U2, this code. Same code is there where we are changing the display style to none on clicking the button. Okay. Now I'll execute this. So see, we have this paragraph JavaScript can hide HTML element. If I click, so what it will do? The display style associated
hide
with this paragraph, it will make the style, it will set the display style to none. And as it makes the display style to none, it will stop displaying it. Okay. So I'll just click it. What happened? Disappeared. Got it? I'll again reload it to show you again. I'll click it. Disappeared. Right? Disappeared. So you can hide by changing the display style to none. Okay, is this fine, students?
Yes, sir. Fine.
Now the last one. One more example I'll show for today. Then we'll end up this class. This is the next one. JavaScript can show HTML elements. So you can show the HTML element. How? Showing hidden HTML elements can be done by changing the display style. Okay. So hidden elements you can show with the style. With the help of JavaScript, the hidden elements you can show again. Showing hidden HTML element can also be done by changing the display style. So let's see, we are having a document HTML, okay, body, we are having a heading, what can JavaScript do? Then we are having a paragraph, JavaScript can show hidden HTML element, okay. Then we are having a paragraph, right, whose on which we are writing hello JavaScript, and its style is display none. So since the style is display none, right, because of the style display is none, right, this basically paragraph will not be shown. You got it? We have a paragraph on which we have written hello JavaScript, but this will not be shown because the style we have set to display none. Got it? So what we are doing is we have a button. On clicking the button, we are changing the style of this particular element. So we are getting the element by ID demo, and style.display we are changing, instead of none we are changing it to block style. Block style. So there is something called block style, okay, in which which will show that particular paragraph. Okay. So we are changing the style.display to block. So instead of none, it will become block. Okay. So let's see how it happens. Is this clear what we have done over there in this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll make sure that contents are same what we saw. Yes, this is same. Earlier the style was display.none, and that's we are changing by clicking the button, we are changing the style to style.display to block style. I'll double click this. Okay. So see, you should see this, that there's only one paragraph being shown over here. See, we have written in the code 2 paragraphs. See, one P is there. JavaScript can show hidden HTML. There was another paragraph also, hello JavaScript. But this is not being shown because it's a style we have put as display none. Okay. So this second paragraph is not being shown. It is not being shown. What we want is, by clicking the button, we want this paragraph to be shown. So that's what we are doing it. So we are clicking the button. By clicking the button, we are changing the style of that paragraph to display block rather than display none. Okay. So after clicking, now it is displaying hello JavaScript. So an hidden element we are showing with the help of JavaScript. Okay, student? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you learned these 5 things, right, today? I mean, you refreshed
Yeah.
it, whatever you have learned earlier.
Yes.
These 5 things. Next, where to insert JavaScript code and all, this we'll see tomorrow. Okay, so we learned basically these 5 things today. What JavaScript can do, some of the examples we did, how to change the contents of an HTML element using the JavaScript. Then using JavaScript, we how to change the HTML attribute values, and we change the attribute values of an image element, the source image we changed through this. Then we learned how to change the HTML style, so the font size we changed through these scripts. Then we learned how to hide an HTML element, and then we learned how to redisplay any hidden HTML element. Okay, I hope you learned all these things. Okay, if you have any question, then I am open to the question.
No, sir.
Okay, okay, good. So let me